Well, the compressed natural gas industry would not be where it is today if it wasn't for a process called fracking. Estimates by the Department of Energy put the numbers of barrels of shale gas in the U.S. now recoverable by fracking at around 1.8 trillion. Now, to put that into perspective, Saudi Arabia is estimated to have roughly 2.6 trillion barrels of oil in its reserve, which is a lot. So, for the first time in memory, American energy independence is a real possibility. Here's our Keela Kellen.
Oil rigs are a common sight across parts of Oklahoma as the oil and gas industry continues to fuel our state's economy. But what is commonplace here is relatively new in other parts of the country.
Hydraulic fracturing, often called fracking, has opened energy reserves all across the country, with sometimes adverse reactions.
Whoa!
OSU researcher Jessica Aldridge says when it comes to the science of hydraulic fracturing, it's all about perspective.
Fracking was born here. We invented it here 60 years ago. We're an oil and gas state. We're used to it. You can drive right down Stillwater on Main Street and see an oil rig. That was the first time in my life I'd ever seen one in town. But you know, places like New York State, north of New York City, they're not used to seeing oil rigs in their backyards. And I think that's a big difference. It's just we're used to it.
According to Aldridge, even the way fracking is covered in the press varies by region.
In Oklahoma, we tend to present it much more as an asset rather than a liability. We focus on the economic impact it could have for our economy. We're an oil and gas state.
Hydraulic fracturing is a method used to extract gases from shale rock deep beneath the Earth's surface. Explosives are used to fracture the rock that are then injected with high-pressure fluids, pushing the natural gas to the surface. A process that, while incredibly successful in producing new energy reserves, has been criticized for everything from polluting water supplies to causing minor earthquakes.
The rest of the country seems to be more concerned about the environmental impacts that are coming out in recent studies and reports. They do acknowledge the economic impact it does have. If we do frack the whole world, we're going to make a lot of money at it, but there are concerns. It's kind of drill first, ask questions later mentality.
Which the head of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission says is often an unfair characterization.
Well, the whole idea of using the hydrofracking and the horizontal drilling that has really revolutionized the industry in just the last few years and has allowed us to see this incredible domestic resource that we didn't really know was there, that has, again, helped the consumer because prices are much lower. In some cases, they're so low for producers, though, that they have to make their money off of the liquids in the gas, and that the gas itself is priced too low, so some of those wells are being shut in. And so it's not only choppy economically, but there's also the debate going on amongst the public as to the pros and cons of the fracking technique. A lot of people don't understand it, and that debate is certainly happening in parts of the country.
And while environmental activists caution about the potential dangers of fracking, Aldridge says even its strongest critics can't escape the impact that fracking has on our lives.
We are an oil economy. Even the best environmentalists cannot get away from using oil. It's our primary resource. I mean, everything we use in our country comes from oil somehow. However, we have the alternatives. We just keep delaying them in pursuit of fossil fuels.
According to Department of Energy estimates, the oil and gas industry now employs more than 1.2 million people across the United States.